Cruelty against Animals, Republic Act No. 10631, or the Philippine Animal Welfare Act of 2013, amending Republic Act No. 8485, or the Animal Welfare Act of 1998. Republic Act No. 10631 is an amendment to the Animal Welfare Act of 1998, or Republic Act No. 8485. It strengthens animal welfare laws in the Philippines by increasing penalties for animal cruelty, including fines and imprisonment, and includes provisions on responsible pet ownership like vaccination and registration. It is the purpose of this act to protect and promote the welfare of all terrestrial, aquatic, and marine animals by supervising and regulating the establishment and operations of all facilities utilized for breeding, maintaining, keeping, treating, or training of all animals either as objects of trade or as household pets. Pet animal shall include birds. Animal welfare pertains to the physical and psychological well-being of animals. It includes, but not limited to, the avoidance of abuse, maltreatment, cruelty, and exploitation of animals by humans by maintaining appropriate standards of accommodation, feeding, and general care, the prevention and treatment of disease, and the assurance of freedom from fear, distress, harassment, and unnecessary discomfort and pain, and allowing animals to express normal behavior. It shall be unlawful for any person to torture any animal, to neglect to provide adequate care, sustenance of shelter, or maltreat any animal, or to subject any dog or horse to dog fights or horse fights, kill or cause or procure to be tortured, or deprived of adequate care, sustenance, or shelter, or maltreat or use the same in research or experiments not expressly authorized by the Committee on Animal Welfare, the killing of any animal other than cattle, pigs, goats, sheep, poultry, rabbits, carabaos, and horses is likewise hereby declared unlawful except in the following instances. It shall be unlawful for any person who has custody of an animal to abandon the animal. If any person being the owner or having charge or control of any animal shall without reasonable cause or excuse abandon it, whether permanently or not, without providing for the care of that animal, such act shall constitute maltreatment. If the animal is left in circumstances likely to cause the animal any unnecessary suffering, or if this abandonment results in the death of the animal, the person liable shall suffer the maximum penalty. Abandonment means the relinquishment of all right, title, claim, or possession of the animal with the intention of not reclaiming it or resuming its ownership or possession. Any person who subjects any animal to cruelty, maltreatment, or neglect shall, upon conviction by final judgment, be punished by imprisonment and/or fine, as follows. First, imprisonment of 1 year and 6 months and 1 day to 2 years, and/or a fine not exceeding 100,000 pesos if the animal subjected to cruelty, maltreatment, or neglect dies. Second, imprisonment of 1 year and 1 day to 1 year and 6 months, and/or a fine not exceeding 50,000 pesos if the animal subjected to cruelty, maltreatment, or neglect survives, but is severely injured with loss of its natural faculty to survive on its own and needing human intervention to sustain its life, and third, imprisonment of 6 months to 1 year and/or a fine not exceeding 30,000 pesos for subjecting any animal to cruelty, maltreatment, or neglect, but without causing its death or incapacitating it to survive on its own. If the violation is committed by a juridical person, the officer responsible thereof shall serve the imprisonment. If the violation is committed by an alien, he or she shall be immediately deported after the service of sentence without any further proceeding. The foregoing penalties shall also apply for any other violation of this Act, depending upon the effect or result of the act or omission as defined in the immediately preceding sections. However, regardless of the resulting condition to the animal or animals, the penalty of 2 years and 1 day to 3 years and/or a fine not exceeding 250,000 pesos shall be imposed if the offense is committed by any of the following: 1. A syndicate. 2. An offender who makes business out of cruelty to an animal. 3. A public officer or employee. Or 4. Where at least 3 animals are involved. In any of the foregoing situations, the offender shall suffer subsidiary imprisonment in case of insolvency and the inability to pay the fine. Salient points to remember. Republic Act No. 100-631 modifies specific sections of the original Animal Welfare Act, focusing on strengthening its enforcement and penalties. Stricter penalties. The amendment introduces higher fines and longer imprisonment terms for animal cruelty offenses, making it more difficult to engage in such acts. Responsible pet ownership. It also includes provisions for responsible pet ownership, requiring pet owners to ensure their animals are vaccinated, registered, and properly cared for. Prohibits cruelty and maltreatment. The law prohibits various acts of cruelty and maltreatment, including torture, neglect, and abandonment of animals. Focus on specific animals. The law specifically addresses the issue of dogfights and horsefights, prohibiting them and imposing penalties for those who engage in such activities. Penalties for violations. Violators may face fines ranging from 30,000 pesos to 250,000 pesos or more, depending on the severity of the offense, and imprisonment of up to 2 years. Subsidiary imprisonment. If the offender is unable to pay the fine, they may face subsidiary imprisonment. Confiscation of animals. The law allows for the confiscation of animals under abusive conditions and their transfer to responsible organizations or shelters. Other concerns. Republic Act 100-631 also covers aspects like the establishment and operation of animal facilities, the care and welfare of animals, and the role of the Committee on Animal Welfare.
For more discussions and similar videos, please like, share, subscribe and click the notification bell.